Yeah, I'm gonna start up. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to a WNBA State of Mind where we mainly discuss basketball, but we love other sports. Today, we are coming straight from Zimbabwe. I got my guy, David Mlambo, on here. We've been trying to get together for such a long time, and so I'm so happy to have you on the show. It might get a little choppy, but that's okay because I'm just real excited, and God is good. Hopefully, He'll carry us through this while we're at such a distance. David, your ministry in the community is basketball, to create a safe environment through sports for this generation and the future generation in Zimbabwe. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, After School Hoops is a program which runs through school system, which helps basketball communities like community clubs and schools with resources and life skills through ministering.
My goodness. And I watch so much. Excuse me, I'm fixing my hair tie. I watch so much and I see so much on Facebook. I may not comment all of the time, but I see how you're affecting and influencing so many children. It's absolutely incredible the effect that you have. Now, I know Zimbabwe. I've been to Nairobi, Kenya. I've been to Mali. I've never been to Zimbabwe. Talk to us about Zimbabwe. What's that like for people that are here in the United States?
Yeah, Zimbabwe is like a cool country. When you get to Zim, it's like you're at home. You feel safe. You won't get like robbed or anything bad, but the people are very welcoming and you feel home. Every coach from America who once came here, he feels like coming back again because like he feels like he's at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure because when I went to Kenya, when I went to Mali, some things, are tough to see because we did a lot of stuff in the community for kids that were disadvantaged and, but for the most part, the people were absolutely fantastic. And they were always saying, no worries, you're at home, sister. So it was a great feeling to have. Talk about the hospitality in Africa.
Yeah, we very much like welcoming, and if you ask for directions, help, we are pretty much there to help, like showing you, okay, you're supposed to go this direction, this is where you're supposed to go. So it's like you're at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Just because I've been to a couple of places. Now, you do camps, you do games at schools. What are you hoping to get from all of this?
I don't want to gain anything. I just want to uplift the kids and keep them away from violence and drug abuse. Because like when we were growing up, we used to learn a lot about basketball, but nowadays the kids are like are wrapped around to phones, drugs, crime, easy way to get things. So we try to build that secret and safer space through gospel and basketball, so kids can be better community role models in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, with all of these kids that you have, I mean, have you partnered with other people? Like, how many coaches do you have? How many kids do you actually affect?
So we didn't partner with anyone. We just have friends around the program, those who wants to come and help. And we have 50 volunteers. The ones we work them like full time around our communities. And we impact about 7,500 to 10,000 kids per year.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And I suggest anybody follow you on Facebook so that they can see all of the things that you do, and so you can get more support from people. As far as I remember when we went down to Nairobi and also to Mali, I bought a whole bunch of sneakers and different gear and stuff with me, stuff that I don't even use anymore. I'm just gonna toss out and or between myself and all of the other athletes, WNBA, NBA players, we accumulated a lot of stuff to bring to the kids. And people just coming out of their pockets to do it too, as well. Just to help out in the communities. And I'm sure that you could use some type of support like that, right? Talk about that.
Yeah, because sometimes we run a shoe drive and kids drive with different coaches. Coach Brad McCoy is there in Virginia. He once came here with a bunch of sneakers, t-shirts. So we donated to the kids in different schools we went to, and coaches who came to the camps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a powerful movement, and it's just we take so much for granted here in the United States, and not just in the United States, but in other countries as well. After you use clothes, or they might just sit there, or they don't, nothing happens with them, or you throw them out, and you have not one thought about, oh, well, maybe somebody can actually use these. I do things like donate to CHKD, and, making sure that these children that are sick, they're cancer patients. I make sure that they get some of the things that I have, because parents can't afford to buy clothes at that time, because healthcare is so important. And I know in Africa, there's so many issues that are important. There should be somebody who could lend a helping hand. We'll talk about that off the cuff. In the meantime, what's the basketball culture like in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, the basketball culture in Zimbabwe is growing, because at the moment our program is running in 650 schools, and it's amazing. We're even shocked. And other schools we work with, they don't have like actual basketball courts. It's a pity. If it's possible, I could try to share a screen and show you how the other schools they operate, how we do it. Sometimes we just get to a school, we have 2 poles and just a steel backboard. Then we just put a ring, then we just make a makeshift hoop, then we start playing basketball.
Okay. That's that's like the hood. I remember when I was young, just taking a basket crate and nailing it to the pole, and, everybody just starts playing basketball. The accuracy of my shot was good, not because I was always practicing on a regular hoop. I was practicing in a crate that was square. And so, we as a culture, as an African culture, we are very creative. We are very creative. So that's stuff that goes on.
Yeah, you can say that again.
We are, especially, not being born with a silver spoon in your mouth, and you just sometimes you got to make stuff up. I made a lot of games up when I was coming up. So elaborate. We talk about the after school hoops and how girls, are now participating in more sports activities in Africa.
Yeah, so during COVID, we had a lot of cases of girls getting married early at an early stage. So I talked to Coach Tamara Smith about the issue. She lives there in Texas, in the United States. So she said, now we can start an all-girls camp in Africa. So she came. So what we do, we try to bridge the early marriage gap through sport and life skills and gospel, so kids can stay in school and reach their potential in sport and class. At the same time, building that culture of not getting married earlier, and also showing the other kids behind them it's possible to reach your goals without getting married at an early stage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic that that movement is going on, and that happened. COVID brought a lot of unfortunate circumstances upon all of us, but there are a lot of beautiful things that came from it as well. And so, I'm real appreciative of some of the things that I see going on globally that affect girls basketball, and that affect women in general. keep us off the street, you know, stay away from early age pregnancy, teenage pregnancy, study, get a good education, take care of your issues, and grow up before you decide to, become a mother, because that's the toughest job in the world. Take care of a family. And so kudos to you for that once too. And you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. If you're just joining, I got my guy David Mlambo on the show from Zimbabwe. We're talking about his after-school hoops program that he has that's affecting 7,500 to 10,000 children on a yearly basis. And so, I want to hit you with one more question, and then you can elaborate on anything that you want to. Talk about how, and I'm a stickler for education, but talk about how it's affected education, and not just with girls, but also with boys.
So what we do every year, we do it 3 times a year. So we run back to school campaigns where we help our kids with school materials, backpacks, shoes, uniforms. We also try to pay for school fees for some kids so they can keep on with their education. At the same time, they can be an example to the other kids. If you don't have anything, you have to work hard for it. Mostly the kids in our program, we see they have potential. So we keep pushing them to keep going to school so they can reach their goals through the back to school campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the age groups that you affect, what age groups do you predominantly affect?
So it's a 9 to 21. Mostly at 21, most of the kids, they go to university. And some, they won't have enough funds. So we try to reach out to the coaches and say, okay, this child is pretty much good in basketball or in soccer. Can he make it to your university or your college school so he can play basketball at the same time and he can go to university?
Yeah, absolutely. Here the same. Do you have any bridges to help you, take care of that gap? If a kid was interested in coming to the United States, do you have a program that helps foster and develop that movement?
Yeah, I've tried to reach out to few people with programs which are stable, but they're just okay, we're gonna see what we can do. Yeah, maybe one day it's gonna happen, that gap, but we keep trying, pushing, and see how best we can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it starts with movements like this where, we do stuff like, you come on the podcast and we talk about it and we put it out there on Facebook and we tag people so that they can see, and know who you are and what it is that you offer to the sport of basketball from Zimbabwe, because I'm sure that there's some ballers down there that will be eager to come here, and there's some coaches that are here that will be eager to, to have them play for their programs. So talk about all of the different platforms, social media platforms that you're on, and how people can get in touch with you. And if there's any movements that you're doing right now that, that we can push.
Yeah, now you can get us on Facebook and Instagram, or you can hit us up at afterschoolhoops@gmail.com.
Okay.
And also now we are trying to push a movement for a young boy who's 15. So he's about 1'9" tall. So he wants to pursue his basketball career somewhere where he can have more basketball playing. So, but now he hasn't gotten that opportunity. So, but we're trying to keep pushing for him to get that exposure so he can be a get to the other kids behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you think about it, that there's so many African players right now that are playing at universities, and that would just be absolutely awesome. And what I would like for you to do is, like on your Facebook page, create, profiles for these kids and, highlight these kids that you're talking about. So, and share them with me. So this way we can, get them out there as far as what they look like. And, even if they're, you got a short video clip that you put up of them, playing for, maybe 5 minutes, in a game, so people can see, their mobility and their agility skills and, what they would bring to the table. And, just create a movement like that. I can't exactly put my finger on what 1.9 is in height, but it's touching 7 feet.
Yeah, almost like six. Let's say 6'5".
6'5" and
he's 15
right now, and he probably
he's 15 years.
He hasn't even touched the height that he's really gonna be. And so you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. I got my guy David on here from Zimbabwe, and I tell you, he's got some ballers down there, and just here to put him out there because his after-school program, the after-school hoops program that he has in Zimbabwe, like I said, affects 7,500 to 10,000 kids per year. It's absolutely fantastic. He has more than one diamond in the rough down there. Is there anything else that you'd like to this podcast to talk about? You have any movements that you got going on that you're going to be doing here lately?
Yeah, we want to run an kids and shoe drive for upcoming camp in February. So if anyone has old material like trophies, shoes, balls, cones, it's going to help us a long way here and keeping up the program going.
Okay. And I have a lot of friends in Africa. I got a lot of friends that follow me on Facebook. So, if you have an address, telephone number, email, or something that you would like to put out there that they can get in contact with you in Africa to help you, because that would be closer than shipping it from the United States and hoping it gets there in February. Maybe somebody down there that could be your immediate help. How would they be able to do that?
Yeah, I will put like my address and my email, or should I put it here? It's afterschoolhoops.zimbabwe@gmail.com. My address is 22 area 12 Tangambura Mtare, Zimbabwe. That's my address. You just address it to After School Hoops Zimbabwe.
Okay. Yeah. Check them out on Facebook. This has been an absolutely fantastic show. We did a little short take. I wanted to make sure that I made good on what I said, that I was going to put you out there and help you get some exposure for your movement down there in Zimbabwe, which I absolutely think is fantastic. Anybody who's listening, I suggest you go to David Mlambo's page, and that's MLLAMBO, and check him out and what he's doing. If you're interested in basketball in Zimbabwe, or you think you may be able to help him with getting some kids, you might have a prep school, college out there that may be interested in some of his kids. I'm sure you would. And he's all about education. And so that these kids are going to be smart in school so they can take the TOEFL and they can come. All right. So you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. Adrian Goodson, Sammy Sosa, peace out. Don't forget to download the show on Spotify. Follow and like me. David, I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me here and sharing the vision we have here in Africa with the whole world and people close to you.